Thank you to the officers in Santa Clara and the Ivan City Police.
Is it just me, or does it sound like she's accepting some kind of Hollywood award? It's cringeworthy.
This is a call from Ruby Franke, an inmate at Purgatory Correctional Facility.
On August 30th, 2023, Ruby Franke's 12-year-old son escaped his mother's house of horrors, prompting his neighbor to place the following 911 call.
I just had a 12-year-old boy show up here at my front door asking for help. He's emaciated, he's got tape around his legs, he's hungry, and he's thirsty.
As EMTs and police arrived on scene, they quickly learned that this wasn't an ordinary case of child abuse. No. Ruby Franke, the boy's mother, was a famous mommy vlogger, notably for giving parenting advice online. And it's shocking to think that somebody who was so famous for their parenting videos online is now under investigation or being arrested for child abuse. That is, until you realize that people have been calling out Ruby Franke for years and have been concerned about her treatment of her children for a long time. I mean, Ruby Franke in her videos alone demonstrated that she was a controlling narcissist who was mean and abusive to her kids time and time again.
My bedroom was taken away for 7 months and then you give it back like a couple weeks ago.
I don't think our viewers know that. If you cut one more thing in my house, I'm going to take the scissors, look at me, and I'm going to cut its head off.
Grandma will be so mad!
And she actually told me she did pack a lunch. So the natural outcome is she's just going to need to be hungry. Hopefully nobody gives her food.
Unless you find a friend who's willing to share some of their food with you, I don't think you're going to be able to eat. But if you're not responsible for your lunch and your lunch money, that's the natural consequence. And I'm really sorry you're learning this the hard way.
Aw, Ruby, I'm so sorry that you're learning this the hard way. Poor baby. Clearly, I have some feelings about this case, so let me take this moment and opportunity to remind you that all of my videos are based on my own personal experience, candid opinions, and own research. Critical thinking is always welcomed and encouraged here. With that said, today we are going to be breaking down Ruby Franke's statement to the court because make no mistake about it, that statement is incredibly meaningless, even though it seems like she said all of the right things. And Ruby Franke is right where she belongs.
I would like to make a statement without any intent to change my stipulated sentence. For the past 4 years, I've chosen to follow counsel and guidance that has led me into a dark delusion. My distorted version of reality went largely unchecked as I would isolate from anyone who challenged me. I was led to believe that this world was an evil place, filled with cops who control, hospitals that injure. My choice to believe and behave this paranoia culminated into criminal activity for which I stand before you today ready to take accountability. Jody Hildebrandt was never my business partner. Jody was employed as my son's counselor. I paid her to be my mentor. I take full accountability for my choices, and it is my preference that I serve a prison sentence.
All right, let's stop right there because this part of her statement has always bothered me. I don't think she is being genuine about her desire to serve a prison sentence, and this whole rhetoric that I'm not here to change my sentence, I actually think there's a lot more to that, and we'll get into that in a minute. But I want to say that Ruby Franke has always been abusive. Long before Jody Hildebrandt ever even entered the picture, people have been warning her over and over again. You've got people online warning her. You have family warning her. You have friends warning her. Even her oldest daughter, Shari, called in a wellness check on her siblings in September of 2022.
My 4 younger siblings are living in Springville, and my neighbors have been telling me that they have been left home alone for about 4 or 5 days.
ABC News obtained records showing police responded to the Franke's home more than a dozen times over the last few years, including reports of juvenile problems in 2018 and welfare checks in 2022.
And Jody was already involved at that point.
Thank you to the officers in Santa Clara and the Ivan City Police. Nick Hellman, Brian Palufo.
Is it just me, or does it sound like she's accepting some kind of Hollywood award?
Thank you to the officers in Santa Clara and the Ivan City Police. Nick Cameron.
I swear, I'm going to do all of you a favor and fast forward through this nonsense.
To my babies, my 6 little chicks, I was the mama duck who was consistently watering you to safety. I can see now, over the past 4 years, I was in a deep undercurrent that led us to danger. How terrifying this must have been for you. You are each so precious to me. I'm sorry.
This part of her statement infuriates me because it's minimizing her role in the abuse against her children. By comparing herself to a mama duck that led her ducklings astray, she is ignoring the fact that she committed horrific acts of violence and torture against her 12-year-old son and her 9-year-old daughter, and it is disgusting.
My greatest desire is to stand in his court someday spotless and confident. Judge Walton, I know standing before you today is a necessary step towards that end. Thank you to you and your staff for facilitating my opportunity to take accountability and to answer for my charges. I am humbled and willing to serve a prison sentence as long as it takes.
One thing that stands out is how she keeps on saying that she is willing to serve the sentence, that she is accepting of the consequences of her actions, and that she doesn't want to change what the judge has already determined. And I haven't really seen this discussed so much, but personally, I believe that Ruby is saying that not because she thinks that the judge will change her sentence in that moment, but because she is preparing herself today for her future parole board hearing in 5 years. Because Ruby knows that she is going to spend a minimum of 5 years in prison, but what she doesn't want to do is to spend 1 minute over those 5 years in prison. So she is laying the groundwork like a true manipulative narcissist to be ready to be able to go to the parole board and say, oh my gosh, I have done so much work on myself, you guys. I've learned so much. I've grown so much. I care so much about my kids. And I kept all of the promises that I made when I accepted this sentence to begin with. So you guys should let me out. I'm a reformed woman. I can go tell my story, this, that, and the other thing. And I think that is what she is doing today. Ruby's statement doesn't sound like somebody who is remorseful for their actions. It sounds as though she is trying to tell people what she thinks they want to hear versus what she actually feels and believes for herself. I wouldn't be surprised if Ruby had no remorse whatsoever and all of this was really, truly performative, because it feels performative. The thanking everybody as if she's in an award show accepting, Best Actress
is cringeworthy.
And I really hope for her children's sake that she fades into obscurity and that we do not hear one more word from her. I don't think Ruby needs to be let out of prison until her youngest daughter is well into her 20s and can make the decision for herself as to whether or not she wants to continue a relationship with her mother after everything that has happened. I believe that is how long Ruby needs to stay in prison, not just 5 years. I think Ruby has a lot of growing to do, and for her kids' sake, I hope she truly does take that to heart and experiences that growth. But I don't want to hear from her. I'm indifferent when it comes to her. I'm more concerned about giving a voice to her kids if they so want it, and shining a light on how family vloggers operate, because this isn't the first case of this type of abuse, and it certainly is not the last. And all we can hope for is that as these kids get older, as they become adults, that they speak up and that new laws are written into legislation to protect these children, that these kids get to find their own voice and express themselves online or offline, and they don't have to play the character that their parents made up for them online. If you like this video, go ahead and comment down below. It lets me know that you want more like it. Don't forget to like and subscribe as well. Do all those good YouTube things, as it does help in the wondrous world of social media. My name is Danielle, and I am signing off with love.